Okay, so this is Saturday, May 6, 2017, at the corner of Hiram Drive and Parkway Road, looking into the Greely Industrial Park and the lots that are owned by Ken Gordon Holdings and others that haven't developed yet. This is the ditch on the south side of the road, I think, if my orientation is right. As you can see, it's no higher than normal, and we've had approximately in the last 24 hours 40 to 60 millimeters of rain, and the 10 days leading up to this storm we probably had about the same. So the ground is pretty saturated everywhere in Ottawa. We have flooding all over the Rideau system, the Ottawa River system, and in different areas. I'm just going to cross the road now, and this is the culvert on this side of the road, and this culvert was put in not too many years ago. As you can see, it's a double one, and I'm just going to go around to the other side. This side of the ditch obviously has more water in it, and I guess it's part of the creek system, but still, as you can see, these culverts are only about half full, maybe 60% full, so definitely not in any flooding situation. I'm gonna go, sorry about the noise, gonna go over to the other side, show you the other side. So these are the ditches coming up Hiram Road on the lots for the industrial park, and you can see it's not any higher than normal, and those culverts down in the distance, I'll get a little closer for you here, they're still not even half full. Keeping in mind, this is after a lot of rain in the last 24 hours. And certainly in the last 2 weeks. So we're up here, and there's this side of the culvert here. So I'm gonna pause this video and restart it as I move further down the road. Actually, no, you know what? I'm just gonna cross the street here again, once it's safe to do so. This is the Quinn Farm development over here. As you can see, I'll just zoom in a bit. There's a bit of surface water, but pretty much high and dry. Nothing out of the ordinary than any other spring. So I'm going to pause now and move up. Thank you. Okay, here I am back on Hiram. And I'll just fade out here. These are the lots 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those vacant lots from the end of the road where I just was. All, as you can see, there's very little, if any, water on them. All high and dry. You can see the berm. It's hard to see from here because it's kind of overgrown, but it's obviously doing its job. And this is the ditches in front of here. Now this is a lot, I believe this is lot, I want to say 27. RTB has there where they got the building, but this lot here that's behind that fence is all landscaped, but it's apparently still in the floodplain, and not sure. I just wanted to point out that a lot of the water is gone. This lot here obviously has been filled, owned by a gentleman to store equipment. You can see he's bought this lot where he wants to build a warehouse. Now obviously there's some water trapped in there, but you can see why the berm that is there, it's doing its job. And once he fills that in after construction, he'll be fine high and dry. You can see over here, this is Marathon Drilling. And it's filled, its lot is filled, and the berms are there. Sorry. The berms are there, the lot is filled, and you can see that it is also high and dry. So I guess just for anecdotally here, and common sense would tell us that with the storms we've had in the last 24 hours and over the last 10 days, to see the fact that this area isn't flooded, that Hiram Road is not flooded, that the ditches aren't full, would let us know that that it's pretty much not too bad here. I'm going to pause one more time and just go over to another lot that's deemed in the floodplain, and just have a look at that. Hang on. So back again, just so you see the RTB here on Hiram Road. These are the ditches on the other side of the road from where I just filmed. And you can see there's actually almost no water in the ditches on either side. So clearly no water is being trapped even after all the rain we've had. Once again, here's a view of lot 1 through 4. You can see obviously on the outside of the berm and the ditches, there's water in it, but certainly not overflowing. And the lots are fairly, well, they're damp, but they're not tiny bit of surface water, but for the most part high and dry, and that's with the very little fill. Turning on to McEwen in the park, you can see that there's not a lot of water in the ditches here either, on either side of the road. Even with all the rain we've had. And you can see that these lots that are filled and built on are all high and dry, and so are the roads. This is the other lot in question, lot 27. As you can see, there's some water in the middle of it, but that's only because it's not been filled, and it's surrounded by higher elevation, and so the water that's in the middle there is basically trapped in there. But once there's fill put in and it's developed, it will stay high and dry as well. And keeping in mind, again, this is after anywhere between, they're saying 60 to 70 millimeters of rain in the last 24 hours, plus in the 10 days previous to that, about the same amount. So 120 to 140 millimeters of rain coming down in this area, and clearly no issue with flooding when the rest of the Ottawa area is flooding. I'm just going to pause one more time. It's another thing I want to note. Okay, so here we are at 6782 Old Prescott, or no, Parkway, sorry. Anyhow, this is the Shields Creek. As you can see, it's high, but it's certainly not raging. But the culverts seem to be working just fine, even after all this rain. And I'm just going to cross over to the other side. And this is a look up the road. And there's the creek coming up this way. So you can see that it's high, but no higher than usual. So obviously the improvements in the culverts down here at Hiram and the improvements in the culverts further up have done their job. So I guess in conclusion, I'd like to say that you know, although some of these lots that we're talking about inside the industrial park are on the map overlay in a floodplain, common sense would have to dictate, or at least this anecdotal evidence, that I'm not sure what a 100-year storm entails, but we've had a lot of rain in the last 24 hours and then 10 days previous to that. So I'm not sure what it would take to flood these properties completely. Anyhow, thank you. All right, here we are in front of the Greely fire station. This is the new culverts that were put in a couple of years ago for the creek, for Shields Creek. And as you can see, although the water is high, not much higher than normal, and these culverts seem to be handling it no problem over the creek. Let me just go over to this side. Seems to be flowing pretty good here, and the water's handling and moving. Got some geese here. Just go on this side. You can see might be some junk to take out of this ditch, but it's flowing pretty good. And as you can see, the banks of the creek are not overflowing or causing any issues going into the farm fields here. So anyways, here it is, Greely Industrial Park. Culverts working, ditches working, no flooding, and no property damage after between 60 and 70 millimeters of rain in less than a 24-hour period, and about the same amount in the 10 days previous.